reason, but intellectually try to understand.
Madhvacharya, Ramakrishna and Shankaracharya, all three are, realized people.
No, they are not realized people. They are not realized people. They are avatars. There is a difference. No, there is a difference. They are not realized people. They came to the world to give a message. They did not need realization. Once you get realized, then I will call you a realized man. That is how.
So, but they know the truth.
They know the truth.
So, they have given three different ways of saying truth. So, which
No.
is the truth?
No, there is no the truth. There is, you cannot attain the, you see, you can only understand the truth. You cannot have the whole version of truth. That is why Sri Ramakrishna says that Sakar, Nirakar, Aro Koto Kichu. It is not possible for you to understand. You cannot know God 100%. It is not possible. You will know that it is formless. For you, he may be formless. For him, it may be with form. For him, another person, it will be different.
Can you say that Shankaracharya does not have a complete view of truth? Is only seeing a part of truth. After the complete realization, we cannot certify.
Shankaracharya did not come to realize himself. He gave a path.
I'm saying that Shankaracharya see the whole truth or only a part of truth, like the elephant example?
Now for that, you see, we have a serious problem here. Why do you want to know this, first of all? You want to locate Shankaracharya.
No, I'm not pointing anyone. I'm saying after completely realization.
You see, that's what I'm telling. Shankaracharya did not realize. No. Shankaracharya did not realize. It was not that he was ignorant and he realized. He is like God coming to the world to preach. Like Jesus Christ. How can you say that Jesus Christ realized God? He did not.
Just before me to saying there is no God. We all are the same thing.
That is what. He did not have ignorance.
So that's why after removing all the ignorance.
He did not remove ignorance. That's what I am telling. There is no incident where you are giving a wrong example. Shankaracharya is a person, even Shankaracharya, in his introduction to Bhagavad Gita will say, he is the propounder of Advaita, all these things are okay, but even Shankaracharya will say that whenever there is a decline in religion, it is as though that power, which I call Brahman or God, as though it takes a form and comes to the world to preach. As though it takes form. Iva, he uses this word Iva, means as if it takes form. So even Shankaracharya believes that is something, Brahman, everything is true. See, Sri Ramakrishna also will say, one who came as Rama and came as Krishna has come as Ramakrishna, but not in your Advaitic sense. Because in your Advaitic sense, Brahma and Jiva is one, not in that sense. Even in Advaita, one believes in a power which is beyond that Brahman. Means this is something different. And you cannot locate Shankaracharya. What? Shankaracharya gave a path for that particular period. And in that path, if you say that this path, can we say that this path will not give us the complete version of truth? Yes, it will not give. In fact, no path will give, because as an individual soul, I can never understand the whole thing God, because I will become, it will never be possible. I think you need to study little of.
It is like you're saying that if you see a part of the truth, it gives you enough satisfaction that you don't need to know anything.
It's like a holographic model. You know what is a holographic model? The part is the whole. The whole is contained in the part.
So, if you're Brahman, so you're the whole. And then, what do you mean by part? So,
there is no part. So, that is what holographic model is all about.
Then why did
that is the question. Why did the part come? Because you have this ignorance.
No, that's fine. But why did some people perceive it differently? I mean, bigger people, not just normal mere mortal.
Why did some people perceive it differently? This perception is within your ignorance. You will not ask this question, or I will not be fumbling for an answer if both of us realize God, you see. Swami Vivekananda gives an example. In a classroom, a class was asked that this in the space, all these planets are there. Why don't they fall? This was the question. So one girl asked the counter question, where will it fall to? Are you getting the point? So I am saying that I will get only one perception of reality. But this idea that I will get only one perception of reality is based on my body-mind complex, my logical thinking, which will itself be shattered when I get the idea of the reality.
No, that is the whole point. Because they got the idea of the reality and they put it in some sense to us.
Because it cannot be conveyed. It is humanly impossible to convey the reality.
Why is it so totally different that they convey it in a different manner?
How can you convey infinite? Let me come to your language. Infinity, convey. Is it possible? Same problem here.
But there should be some sort of, I mean, it cannot be opposite. You cannot.
See, you are trying to bring the infinity into the realm of the finite.
Again the same problem.
Same problem. You are trying to tell something.
I cannot really go on defining with a finite sense.
You are trying to define something which is limitless in a limited language.
The thing is, you cannot define infinity as zero. It is something like
You cannot define infinity.
1 is 2.
No, you cannot define infinity. You can only have a symbol for that.
No, it is broadly one example can be given. That he, there is one good quote, the example of Ramakrishna, I think so. He gave it. The ghee, if somebody asks what's the taste of ghee, then ghee or mocha. It's like ghee. How it tastes, it's like how
Ghee.
it tastes like ghee. You can't say. And moreover, I mean, why you want to fathom the infinity for a non-certainty?
No, this is good because you try to intellectually.
Yeah, through the intellectual pursuit, it's certainly good, but through a
It is not possible. That is why I said that koans are used. You have to understand that this system is not capable of understanding that.
it's a singularity there.
What about some things? All this Vedanta has been existing from time of the rishis. So why is it called Advaita instead of Eka or single?
That's what. The moment you say eka, that means you posit a second. Because eka can be only in respect to a second. This is purely mathematical.
That is, but it can be more clear. I mean,
No, it will not be. You see, whenever you say 1, that means you presume 1 in relation to what? It cannot be minus 1. When you say 1, I always mean that there is a 0, right? Or there is a 2. Otherwise, where do I place 1? So that is why Advaita. The moment you say Eka, that means you are saying that there is Dvitiya also.
but when we say unity, we have unity. So unity is single.
There again we've come across the problem of expression. You cannot express this. Advaita, even the concept of Advaita, infinity, how will you express? He gave the example of ghee, I gave you the example of dominoes. Suppose you don't know the packet, you have not shown the packet. Okay, but if you are a constant eater of Domino's pizza, when you put it in the mouth, you will understand that this is Domino's pizza. How do you explain the difference between Pizza Hut? Are you getting the point? No, you are not a pizza eater. That is why it is confusing. People who know this difference, or what do you like more? You see, these differences you can always understand. Suppose somebody, I will give you another example. Suppose somebody talks over phone. You know that the person is annoyed. How do you know? You try to have an AI program. It will never work. It will never work because even though perception, everything, but somehow you know something more than what that AI robo knows, SEMO or whatever. So that is what, that subtle thing. It is difficult to explain, and that is why the scriptures say that it is difficult to explain.
That is one part of the truth is any better than the other part?
No, holographic model. Please try to understand. You know the holographic model.
Yes, I I'm asking that if
Is one part of the holograph different from the other part?
is any better than the other part?
Is it? In holograph?
I mean, it depends. It may not.
It depends. Anybody more enlightened? Holograph, what? Holograph, is there any difference? What is holographic model?
Okay, there will be no difference.
No. I'm asking you, what is holographic model? Is there any difference?
It depends on our view. What is our view? On that we will see the reality. Depending on that view.
No holograph. Hologram. Is there any difference? I don't think there is a difference, at least to my knowledge.
Okay, there is no difference. Then we realize self-realize or attain some self-realization by any of the method, by Vedas or by Buddhism or by something, because by anyhow the real aim is to realization. So why there is controversy? Why there is defeating someone else? Because after all we are getting self-realization.
Because we try to put it in words, that is the problem. We are trying to convey something which is not conveyable in words. And that is why I said that these are only differences in philosophy. A person can realize following Mimamsa, a person can realize following Sankhya, though I may not like it. For example, you can eat pizza from wherever. You may like Pizza Hut, I may like Domino's. But the point is that it is pizza. Similarly, reality is, because the basic things are same. Basic things are same. You need to have a moral basis. You need to understand some kind of... See, none of these schools will tell you that your body and mind is permanent. Everyone will tell you that you have a different nature which is not being perceived. But they tell it in a different language. So, because this language is different, all people come and say, this is the correct path, this is the correct path. The problem is that they are trying to convey which is not conveyable through words.
It may be possible that different realized people, they are telling the same thing, but since they are using different bodies, it appears different. Suppose one...
Sri Ramakrishna says that all realized people have the same voice.
No,
Sab shiyale ek rag.
They are using different bodies.
Huh?
They are using different bodies.
However you put it, you make it more complicated or simplify it in the language of Sri Ramakrishna. The idea is that everybody is trying to convey the same thing but in different manner, but the essence is same. Like he also gives an example when there is a feast of sadhus or the brahmanas, then everybody will be talking in the beginning, dal, this, etc. But at the end, when you would have realized, so all people soup, there will be no sound.
Suppose one football match is
Curd.
going on.
Huh?
Suppose a football match is going on, and I am seeing through a color TV and another person is seeing through a black and white TV.
Do they exist now, black and white TV?
Yes. Suppose Shankaracharya is a color TV and the black and white TV is a different person. So they are conveying the same football game, but we are seeing in different versions. One is color from one is black and white.
See, I will give you an example. Wait a minute. Now, one thing I will tell you, let us go towards understanding and not complicate things. See, sometimes... that's what... In the process, we are getting it complicated. So, for example, algebra. If you just say that 1 plus 2 is equal to... So, you say, let 1 be A, 2 be B, and A plus B, etc., etc., then you confuse. You suddenly... your brain starts reeling. Similarly, there are classic example which was used by Husserl, Edmund Husserl in phenomenology. Billiard balls. See, you have a billiard ball. I gave you the example of elephants. You don't like that example, okay? Because billiard balls. You see a billiard ball. Suppose you are in front of a billiard table. All of you have seen a billiard table, right? How many of you not seen a billiard table? All of you have seen. Wow. We can have a championship here. So, you see, this table is there and billiard balls are there on the table. I stand here and you are there, somebody is there. Everyone sees a particular ball or a set of balls, billiard balls. But each one of you has a different perspective of the ball, right? Different angle. But all of you are seeing the same ball. That is what happens when we perceive Brahman. We are seeing the complete billiard ball, but a different aspect. This analogy led to what is called or is given by Edmund Husserl, who was the propounder of a school of Western philosophy called phenomenology. Yes? No. Charvak is a philosophy, they say, but it is like no philosophy. No, they don't bother about realization, simply don't care. They say, Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanu kuta. So I am the body and I know that it will go to a crematorium and it will become ashes. So why do I bother about where will I come, etc., etc. I eat nicely and forget about cholesterol and heart disease, everything, fire.
But now it does not exist.
Is it so? Now a most dangerous philosophy exists. I was telling Professor Mandal that there are more dangerous philosophical versions of this philosophy. And one philosophy which is attractive to many youngsters, particularly from 15 to 35, 40, and people who have got money because it requires serious money, is Osho.
But that is not recommended by any of the religions, classical religions. It is not recommended by any of the classical.
No, they don't consider it as a philosophy. But Osho, many people, they consider themselves, because what Osho told, this wonderful gentleman, he told that you can do whatever you want and you can attain God at the same time.
But Shraddha says
You please come here. Please come here. We will get into a wrestling championship. Please come. And don't go by my body, okay? I will give you a blow nicely, you will understand. Sometimes Madhvacharya technique is necessary. That is not what he meant. He meant that to realize, to go beyond body and mind, not to be, you see, God and mammon cannot be worshipped together. Bible says so, Swami Vivekananda says so. Sex and Superconsciousness book available for very cheap price. That is the only book which is available for cheap price. All other books are very exorbitantly priced. And if you want to go there, I am very strongly opinionated about them, though it may not be, but it is my individual opinion and I believe this. Ranganathananji talked about Osho in a personal conversation and he said that man was a very brilliant person and his philosophy has shattered the lives of many people. And what about his brilliance? He was a professor. His name was, you all know, Rajneesh. And when Swami Bhuteshanandaji was the head of Rajkot Center, he was there in a conference of great scholars. Bhuteshanji was there as a chief guest or something. So this professor, he took many statements from the Hindu scriptures and quashed one by one all the statements, and phenomenal brilliance of brain, intelligent, super intelligence. And all of them thought that Hinduism has come to an end. None of the scholars there could refute. Then Bhuteshanji got up, and he was a great scholar himself, and he quoted all those passages which Rajneesh quoted, because he had quoted half of them, part quotation. Devil quotes the scriptures. And he quoted them in full and clarified the points. Otherwise, it would have been difficult in that situation. So, he was an exceptionally brilliant person and his discourses are exceptionally brilliant, but all the same, what he talks is utter rubbish. It can never happen. You are talking about the body and mind, you cannot go beyond the body and mind. If you are there in the body and mind, you will be in the body and mind. Talking about wealth, you cannot become closer to God. It is not possible.
So what was his motive?
To become famous. Can you own so many Rolls Royce? No, but you can't. See, it's easy to tell need not when you can't. So you see, Osho came to this earth, visited this earth from planet Earth from this. This is what his cenotaph says. Is the inscription on his tomb. It says this. So can you tell like that? Even if you tell, nobody will bother. So now you go to one of his Osho Commune International in Lonavala, you have to pay hectic price, and the silliest and mischievous part is, before entering you have to make a blood test and check whether you are HIV positive. I don't know why you do need to do that. So it is quite obvious. No, Osho left, he visited this planet Earth. Not left the body. Yeah. Bhagavan Osho, what is this? So this is a poison. No? This is a poison which has been injected into our minds. And be careful, this is there because it's a convenient philosophy. I can at the same time be a saint and also a bogi. Yogi and bogi together, two in one. Earlier days when you had the stereo which could also play the, tape and also radio, they used to call it 2-in-1. Nowadays there's 4-in-1, 7-in-1, and now we stopped calling it any one, all in one. Okay, so this is what? Prayojanam anudyashya namando api pravartate. Not even Osho. So what is the prayojanam? Now we don't need to go into futile arguments like our dear friend here. We have to have this wrestling championship. All of these people will be judges and we will have nice blows. Kakadanta pariksha. What is this? You catch a crow and try to find out how many teeth it has got. So let us not enter into Kakadanta pariksha. What is the use of checking the number of teeth of a crow? You know what is Kolkata? It is the international capital of crows. Kolkata. So this we need not do. Let us not enter into any futile exercise. The utility of studying Katha Upanishad is the destruction of ignorance and the cessation of suffering and the realization of one's true nature. We are all suffering so much for many weeks listening to Katha Upanishad. Let this suffering come to an end. That is the purpose of reading this Katha Upanishad. You should understand, this is the sole purpose of reading. At least this suffering should come to the end. These two people used to come, somehow their suffering has come to an end. What happened to those two people? Our psychology friends. No, I think they have attained. Jokes apart. So let us come to the qualification. This is the funniest part. The qualification is so simple that nobody has got this. So in Vedanta Sara, which is supposed to be the introduction on Vedanta, these people have a knack of making it everything complicated. All were friends of our friend. Our dear friend. So they make everything complicated. Vedanta Sara is supposed to be the primer of Vedanta, and if somebody lays his or her hand on this book, they will never read Vedanta. It has been made so complicated. So we are trying to simplify it. There, Adhikari is described. Who is the qualified aspirant? Are you all able to see this? There. Adhikari tu vidivat adhita veda vedangatvena apatata adhigata akhila vedartha asmin janmani janmantare va kamya nishiddha varjana pura saram nitya naimittika purasaram nitya naimittika prayashitta upasana anushtanena nirgata nikhila kalmashataya nitanta nirmala swanta sadhana chatushtaya sampanna pramata. Simple. Pramata means a person who is obtaining knowledge. A person knower, pramatru or pramata. So adhikari is a person who has properly, vidivat, in the proper manner. So you should do everything through proper channel. What is the proper channel? If you don't know the chief minister, know his brother or her brother. Sorry. So that is proper channel. So proper channel. Adhikari tu vidivat veda vedanta. Veda Vedanga Tvena, you study Vedas, 4 Vedas, and 6 auxiliary discipline, Veda Anga. You should know these disciplines to study the Veda. Then Apatata, it's like studying complete verse. So a person comes newly to Ramakrishna mission as a aspirant or as a person to join monk and as a monk, etc. They say, you study complete verse. It's very simple in English language, they study. Then he goes to another Swami who claims himself to be scholar. So he asks, Maharaj, can I study complete verse? Yes, yes, you can study. It is very easy to understand. Very simple. But you need to know English. But of course you know English. So if this person is not a person who knows good English, so he starts studying English. Then he studies complete verse. Then he understands. First volume, it contains Raja Yoga. So he goes through the Patanjali Yoga Sutra and suddenly understands, to understand complete verse you should also study Sanskrit. Okay. Then he studies Sanskrit. Then to understand complete verse you should also know a little bit of philosophy, Indian philosophy. Okay. Then he some more understands philosophy, and then when he goes further, then he sees that Swamiji is quoting left and right from Western philosophy. So little Western philosophy, if you know, it will help. Okay. So 9 volumes. So he is not even crossed first volume. Probably just entering into second volume, which has got Jnana Yoga. So then he says, okay, then little of mythology, if you know Western and Eastern, it will help, because Mahabharata, all these things. Then suddenly he sees that seeing God in everything, all this, oh, it is not anything but just Ishavasya Upanishad, particularly Shankara Bhashya, he has written in wonderful English language. So if you can study Upanishads, Isha, Kata, Kena, only this much, with Shankara Bhashya it will help you to understand. Very good. So you do that. After doing all these things, then finally you are lost in the wilderness of so much of text. You wanted to study Swamiji's complete verse, which in itself goes into 9 volumes. So like that. You see, to understand Vedas, you should study Vedanga. To understand Vedanga, you should go to a guru who is realized soul. So where do you find that realized soul? It is your problem. Vidhivat, proper manner, you should study this. Apatata adhigata. And if you have studied to some extent, apatata means to some extent, akhila vedartha asmin, and you have understood the content or meaning of the entire Vedas. Not one Veda will not do. Entire Vedas. Even little, mota moti. If you understand, it will be okay. And asmin janmani janmantare va. And also in this birth and in other births, you would have done what you should have done. Kamya nishiddha varjana. You should have avoided kamya karma. Karmas or actions which are done with a desire. You should have avoided them. And nishiddha karma, actions which are prohibited in the Vedas. So first itself we are gone. Veda Vedanta means that there itself we have never even seen Vedas, forget about studying them. Vedanga, hello, what does it mean? So we have gone. And then understanding to, and then Janmani Janmantare, I don't know even about my this very birth. What I have got as breakfast 1 week ago, I don't remember. Janmantare is a big question. Kamya Nishiddha. Anyway, we should understand this to bring what? Humility. To understand that the Shastra is giving me access to a knowledge which I am unfit to know. Because this is the qualification. And I don't have this qualification. I think some of you have, but I don't have. So I should know this and be humble to approach the Shastra, the scripture. Kamya Nishiddha Varjana, and then Nitya Naimittika Prayaschitta. I should do the regular actions. What are the regular actions? Some people don't do. Like some people, they claim themselves to be scientists, research scholars, and don't brush their teeth. And it smells so much. Some people do not take bath. Winter is coming, you will understand. Many people, they give the excuse of cold and don't take bath. So please don't. Nitya Karma. Take bath. Let other people also live. And Naimittika. So you take bath, and when you are going for a party, you do 2 times bath and put all the paint and cosmetics. This is Naimittika, modern version. So Nitya is Sandhya Vandana. You have to, have some kind of worship. Ahnika also it is called. at 3 times of the day. Morning, that is the conjunction of sun. So when sun and moon come together, in the morning, evening, dusk, dawn, and also in the noon. These 3 times you have to do Sandhya Vandana. That is Nitya. That you have to do. Means if you don't do, you will incur sin. So if you don't take bath, you will incur beating. Or people not will allow you. Today in our ashrama, in the office, one fellow came, and the moment he entered, I don't know when he had washed his clothes, it was stench like, and they told, switch off the AC and open all the windows. Let fresh air come in. And the other Brahmachari Maharaj to whom he went and talked, he was so blissfully unaware because he had cold, traffic jam. So he's telling, what smell? He said, don't worry. Huge smell is there. So this we should not do. Otherwise we will be thrown out. Prayashchitta. This is Nitya. Naimittika is special. For example, in a particular condition, you will have to do. For a particular, say there is a particular puja. Now Durga Puja is coming. You have to do Durga Puja. That is Naimittika. Special occasion, some actions are there. That is. Then Nitya Naimittika, etc. Now you should do this and Prayashchitta. If you have done something wrong, you have to do the penance for that. Particularly if you are quarreled with your wife or husband, you have to face the consequences in the form of bad breakfast or something. It depends. So that penance you will have to face. Like that. There, as we saw in the story of Vaishampayana, he says that I could not attend the meeting. So for every day I have to suffer. For 7 days I will have to suffer the consequences of Brahma Hatya, killing of a Brahmin. So I will have to do Prayashchitta, penances, so that I come out of this particular problem. Okay. Then Nirgata Nikhila Kalmashataya, Nitanta Nirmala Swant. Having done this, you become free of impurities, Kalmasha. And then your Swanta, your inner being is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. You are endowed with Sadhana Chatushtaya. That is, what is that? Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. And then Ihamutra Falabhoga Viraga. Viveka Vairagya Samadhi Shama Adi Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutva. These 4 qualities you should have. Very simple. And if you have all these things, then you are qualified to know Brahman. What is Vedanga? Vedanga, there are many, 6 disciplines are there. Siksha, that is proper articulation and pronunciation. We saw the chanting. That forms part of Siksha, how to pronounce. So it is very difficult. If a non-Bengali pronounces Bengali words and all that. So a Swami, I have told you probably earlier also, a Tamilian Swami got sannyasa and I knew him, so I said, Belur Mat, at that time I was in the training center of Brahmachari, so we all like to serve all these newly ordained sannyasis. So I went them and asked, Maharaj, what is your name? He said, Chachitananda. Sat Chid Ananda. Chachitananda, he said. Some kind of Tamil. Because in Tamil, earlier it was there. Now they have removed all this kind of Sa is only one Cha, that's all, for everything. Like that. People have different kinds of. One Swami belonging to Karnataka, he with his another Swami, they got new sannyasa. And the other person, both were batchmates. Since school they were friends. What we call in Hindi Langotia Yar. They were like close friends and they joined together the ashrama. So one fellow was laughing, ha 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 ha. Then he said, why are you laughing? No. He said, what name did you get? So his name is Satya Vidananda. I don't know if anybody of you know him personally. Okay. Satya Vidananda. So he got that name. In Kannada, any of you know Kannada? You're Kannadiga, is it? No, but you know. Polyglot. Polymath. Wow. Okay, someone who thinks they know everything. You know, no, but that's what, that is illusion within illusion. Jiva Brahma Aikya, that's what we are talking about. So you have added another upadhi of being polyglot. In that sense I told you, really know in the empirical sense, but in the supra-empirical sense it is another upadhi, no? Is it not? Covering. So in Kannada, bidde means died, no? Fallen. Bidde. Fallen means also colloquially died. So fallen. So you also know Kannada. So he said, you just imagine how these Bengali Maharaj will pronounce your name. What? Satya Vidananda. Satya Vidyananda means you just know fallen. So like that. So names can be very tricky. So you need to know how properly to pronounce it. So you have French names. What is that? Teilhard, D-T-I-E-L-H-A-R-D, D-E-C-H-A-R-D-I-N. How do you pronounce? So Teilhard de Shraddha. How do you? C-H-A-R-D-I-N, Shraddha. How do you know? The French pronunciation is very difficult. Durkheim. There's Emile Durkheim. So all these philosophy people, first problem is starting with the pronunciation of these philosophers. So like Michel Foucault, written F-O-U-C-A-U-L-T. All sane people, particularly Indians, will Foucault. They will look at you like this, snobs, you are dumb fools, lesser mortals. So you shall Michel Foucault. So Jacques Derrida, something. So all kinds of names. But in Sanskrit it's very simple. You don't pronounce bridge as bridge. You pronounce whatever is written, you pronounce it the same way. So Siksha, you are taught how to pronounce. Then you have Kalpa. A particular Jyotishtoma yaga has to be done. How the Yajna Kunda should be there. What ingredients should be used, all these things kalpa. Rituals or ceremony, Vyakarana, grammar, very important. Grammar is very important. So one Swami was telling how if proper punctuation is not put, then there will be a problem. So like that there are stories in almost all Indian languages, in Bengali also it is there. So your proper punctuation is not put, punctuation in the wrong place and can create serious problem. So grammar you should know. Then Nirukta. In Vedas, you need a different kind of meaning. We saw Yaska Nirukta. So etymological explanation of difficult Vedic words. Then Chandas. What is the meter in which it is written? Science of prosody. Then Jyotisha. Particular date, particular time, you should perform this yaga. So how do you calculate that time? Astronomy you should know. Astrophysics. Somebody is there here, astrophysics. So astronomy you should know. Then Pramata. Pramata is an aspirant. And Prama is knowledge. This is, you see, the sequence. Prama is knowledge. Prameya is the object of knowledge. Pramana is the method of knowledge. So there is something, for example, this amust, mineral water. So this is object of knowledge. And Prama is the knowledge of mineral water, because once I get the knowledge, I open it and drink. So this Prameya, this is Prameya. And the knowledge that there is water is Prama. And Pramana is eyesight. Using eyesight, Pratyaksha Pramana, I know that it is there. So if I am blind, I will not be able to know. Then Pramatru or Pramata is the person who knows. So I am the Pramata in this case. So these are the four things. Prama, knowledge. Prameya, object of knowledge. Pramana, method of knowledge. And Pramatru or Pramata, the person who knows. So today we will stop here. If any one of you have some questions, you can ask. I love questions, yes.
Does Ramakrishna Mission have this Vedic chanting classes for householders?
If you are a boy, we have. If you are a girl, we don't have.
In which cities we do have?
No, particularly for girls also, in some places like Hyderabad, they have some courses where they are. In every place you have, more or less. In Advaita Ashram also we have youth centers where youth study circle where we teach in 3 groups, 5 to 8, 5 to 7, 8 to 9, and then 11, 12 college and like that. We teach chanting, everything we teach. In almost all the center, more or less it is there.
These are evening classes or you have to stay there?
No. Morning or evening. If we ask you to stay, you will never stay. Particularly your parents will not allow you to stay. Parents or spouses, as the case may be. Any other question? Yes.
Something different. How the names of sannyas are chosen?
They are selected from, there are 2 ways. Usually traditional approaches, that is what we follow, to select it from Lalita Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, etc. Or from the Upanishads.
Nothing to do with the character of the...
Don't worry, I will not eat you. Narasimhananda, I will not.
No choice?
No, that is given by the President Swami. Sometimes it gels with the character, but in my case I don't think so. Any other question? Path of Nimbarka, it is some Advaita, some what Advaita? Shuddha Advaita or some. I will let you know. It is not coming to me offhand.
What are
Nishiddha karma, which are prohibited actions. For example, like 10 commandments, in Vedas, for example, there, like Brahmana Hananadi, in this Vedanta Sara itself, killing of a Brahmana is a Nishiddha karma. Then in other place, Kalanja Bhakshana. Kalanja Bhakshana means poisoned meat, means old meat, stale meat. If you eat stale meat, it's a Nishiddha karma. You should not eat stale meat. So like that, there are many actions prohibited. For example, telling that Jatomat Tatopat means that is Nishiddha karma. Any other question? You have closed your mouth. You will not ask any question. Any other question?
We heard about the telepathy. Whatever we are talking of this mental plane, is telepathy reality?
There are 2 things. Some people by concentration, by their mental concentration, they can acquire some kind of mental powers. Telepathy is like that. You need not be religious or spiritual to have that power. Anybody can do that. Many magicians do that. Or what we call mentalists do that. That has got no connection with this realization. This is a much, much higher realization.
It is possible.
Telepathy? Yes, it is very much possible. And there are many mentalists, like you can bend the spoon, you can read the mind. These are all very common things. You try a little, you will understand what I am telling. So, you can sit in your room and not come here. See? Your dukkha is over. Those 2 peoples are over. Their dukkha is over. Anybody has some dukkha? I can either aggravate it or... So he has understood what is Sahijya and Samipya. So next week I don't think he will just go Vaikuntha Loka. Please send us the mobile number. We will talk to you. You know this joke about the local connection, no? Huh? Very old joke. So Pope went across the everywhere and Pope has to talk with God. That is what his job is. So he went to America and then he wanted to talk with God. So he went to a church and there was a golden phone and he called and it was like $10,000. He said, why? Then he said that he was told that it is a long distance call, international call. Then he went to Britain And same thing happened. Why? Because it is a satellite call or something. Then he came to India and he said that I want to talk to God. Nobody even bothered. He said, okay, I'll do. Then he said, what? He said, it is intercom. So, okay, thank you. So, do you actually go through Katha Upanishad before coming here? No. I suggest that you can have a copy of the text and it is available and you can just go through, because we will be getting into the mantra. Today I wanted, but somehow I could not. Next week I will surely get into that and cover some mantras of Katha Upanishad. Thank you.